Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today we're here with Uan Hermanus. Uan is a student in electrical and electronic engineering. Good morning, Uan.
Good morning, Dennis.
So, Uan, I want to ask you a few questions about your path, your story to get to engineering. How did it turn out that you became an engineer? What was the main reasons for you choosing engineering?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I say back in high school, I actually found out that I liked math. I didn't like it in primary school that much. And then high school, it became more fun. And I got into computers basically because I wanted to learn how to make video games because games were expensive. So then my initial path was to go into computer science and that. But then in grade 11, I took part in this career aptitude test thing. And then they told me about engineering. I never thought of engineering as an option. And then that's when I started to think. And then also when it came to grade 12, when I had to start applying for engineering and that, then I ended up on YouTube watching a lot of videos. Then I found one channel called Jake 4E's, and then he did explanations on different engineering fields. I actually posted a comment and then replied to it. And then that kind of also helped confirm maybe I should do engineering. So then eventually I chose engineering. I chose electrical and electronic because I saw that I looked at what the curriculum was, and I saw that it had a lot of computing stuff, both hardware and software. And I was like, this seems like a good option. And then, yeah, I chose it, and I'm currently now the final year.
Sounds like a good choice. So can you tell me what was, let's go back to your first year. What was for you the biggest surprise? And maybe what was the thing that you didn't expect when you started in university? Because I know many students struggle with the first 2 months.
So regarding math and that, I was lucky enough to take AP math in high school. And then I also took it what's the word? Distance learning. So I had to do self-study. So that actually prepped me to self-study in uni. So the math wasn't much of a problem. It was mostly drawings because I kind of had a bad attitude towards it in the beginning. But at the end of the day, it was actually an interesting subject because it helped with spatial awareness and that. But the pace of the modules, they were all more or less the same. Usually in high school, there was usually maybe one module that was a subject that was really fast, but now every module was fast. So this was it was interesting, but it kept me on my feet. So yeah, I'll say it was everything was quite fast, but yeah, it was quite a challenge, but it's doable.
Okay, cool. And what was your favorite module so far?
So far, throughout all my years?
Yep.
Actually, I would say it was e-design, 344. Because
the one I taught.
Okay. Yeah, the one you taught actually. Because you actually got to apply what we've learned so far. So there were other cool modules that stood out, but then e-design 344, in the beginning it was hard, say the first submission. But then after that, the last two submissions, they were kind of fine because then it's I kind of knew how I should now start attacking the submissions, how to think, to think about the problem in a higher level and that stuff. And then you actually get to design something that hopefully should work if you actually implement. But it was quite cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting module because it culminates a lot of the knowledge that you gathered in the first 2 years. It brings together, and also that the way of thinking of engineering, it brings it to the fore. Okay, and Ewan, what do you want to become one day? What type of work do you want to do?
Let's see, I'm still a bit unsure. I was thinking something in robotics field, but there are so many fields out there. So I guess I have to wait and see still. But I feel robotics would be my initial starting point. because that actually does look fun, like a combination of hardware and software. So maybe I'll start off with embedded, but yeah, I think robotics.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Tell me, Ewan, if you were to cast your mind back to when you were a matriculant, what do you think, what would be your advice to a matric student who's considering to study engineering?
Hmm.
What do you wish you knew then?
Yeah, I would say you have to really humble yourself before you come to university. It is a team sport.
Mm.
You will have to work with other people, not just through practicals, through tutorials and that stuff. Asking questions, right? Ask away. Don't be shy. Just ask. And then, like, there's what's this pain versus gain is something that I've learned. It's like you have to know how much, do not where the limit, too much effort you must put in before you don't get enough output from it. So like, yes, it's a fine line to walk, but it's good to learn how to handle that from the beginning.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's a good answer. Thank you. Okay, cool. So Uan Hermanus, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us today and giving us some advice and some of your insights. All the best with your final year, and hopefully you make it into a postgraduate degree as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Cool.